Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Scorpio September 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for Scorpios from different countries around the world over the course of the last month. And if you might be interested to see what's involved in that, just check out the information that's in the description box below. I've also done a number of healings as well for people in different countries over FaceTime and Skype. And you see, when I was born, I was given the spiritual gifts of clairvoyance. I was also given the spiritual gift of healing. Now, my sole contract is that as far as healing is concerned, I am to provide it for free and without getting any benefit from it. And so if you want a healing, contact me. There's no catch, there's no obligation, there's no strings, there's no fee. It's free. That's what it is. As I am meant to do and meant to tell much more people about, presumably before I go through that other door, which shall be some time yet, I trust. Now, we know this, don't we, subscribers? And it's great to see you again. I love seeing. Thank you for having me in your home. I love to see you each month. Truly, I do. Do you know, we don't have any video advertisements here, do we? We don't have them breaking into the content, so you get to enjoy the experience of the reading without interruption from video advertisements. And we only take 5 cards because we don't just spend 2 seconds on a card. Rather, it has a lot of information to tell us, as comes up from the artwork that's here. So let's get things underway, shall we, and see what there is in store for you for this month. And the first one is the 3 of Cups. This is the 2 of Wands. This is the Prince of Wands. Here is the 8 of Wands. Gee, very energetic month, a lot of fire, a lot of activity. And here is the 4 of Wands. Gee, you couldn't make it up. Now, I'm also going to take, now you never see me do this, but these were given to me and I liked the art on them. And I just want to see what an image might bring up in the context of your reading and the energy swirling around. So what is this one? It is ennoble your soul. Indeed. Well, as is our usual practice, come and sit down here next to me. You and I will have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together. I might use my pen to point out some of the things which I think are interesting and which add to the interpretation or a way of interpreting the energy that's about. And we'll look at the paintings on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Great. Well, let's have a look at this. Whatever you call these cards first, and this is saying to ennoble your soul. Look, you are a soul, you are in flesh, you are not inside your body is inside of you, you understand that. And you do have spirit guides, what often are called a guardian angel or guardian angels around you. Now, they don't interfere with your free will, of course, but the way to ennoble or to make your soul richer, to make your soul expand, to make your soul develop, is to just remember the golden rule, to do unto others as you would be done unto. And I think at this time, you have so many other good things going on, this is a time to treat people with courtesy, respect, and irrespective of their station in life, whether they be rich or poor, homeless or living in a mansion, treat everybody as if they are royalty. And you will be treated as if you are royalty yourself. And this is a time, I think, to opening yourself up to receive higher wisdom. And I see that coming around somewhere else here. Anyway, let's have a look at this particular card now. The Prince of the Chariots of Fire, and this is the central energy. Well, this is a great card. Now, there is a lot of Leo around here. There is also a lot of Cancer, so they're going to be important to you. Here, the Prince of Fire is driving his chariot, drawn by a lion, which is the fixed sign of fire, being Leo. And here is a crest on top of his helmet, which is a winged lion, and he's driving through fields of fire with great determination, great strength, and great purpose. This is saying to me that I think that you will have an intensity about you this time. There may also be a blossoming love, I think. These flames don't come around for no reason whenever I see them. I think you could have an intuitive creativity. And I think that this is a time when you are coming out of the darkness and into light. Now, the definite general impression that he makes is one of definiteness, openness, and freedom. Now, he is naked on the top there, meaning he doesn't need to protect or hide himself, and he conquers new areas of his life like a pioneer. His heart opens, and he sees the world with new eyes. Now, I think you will be swift and strong. You could be quite impulsive at times. Maybe lurking underneath you in some of your thoughts, there's a sort of a violent thought going on here. But nevertheless, you will be just, noble, and generous with a real sense of ease about you, you know. This fellow here stands for honesty and integrity, and you will have that, and you will have something of a strong sense of morality about you. Now, I also have to say this. I think he represents a turning point for you. When things have not been going all that well, they are now turning around and things start to move more freely. And you have to use his energy and enthusiasm to move on to better things with the same confidence that he has. And he reminds you to re-engage in life and to be ready to tackle any challenge that comes your way, as you will overcome it. And this is also saying that you should have a lust for life. Be generous, loyal, and maintain a sense of humor, of course. You see, he is perfectly ready to engage himself fully in facing life's tests and challenges. And his greatest lesson is that his strong will can only help him towards his goal when it is in harmony with the will of, with your personal values, I think. Now, I think you have all that you need, so don't let yourself be contained, don't let yourself be slowed down. Life is prepared to receive you, and trust your creative potential. Now, ask yourself this: what challenges are present in your life at the moment? Spread your arms wide and breathe deeply in your heart and say this to yourself: I love life, and life loves me. Well, that's the central energy there that's for you, and it's particularly useful, isn't it? Now let's have a look to see what else is going on here. Here's this Three of Cups. This is doing with your emotions. You have a great degree of emotional abundance. And what we have here is the planet of Mercury coming into Cancer. What's going on in this drawing here? Well, first of all, there is the moon that's up on here, and that's probably not surprising because the moon is the ruler of Cancer. And we have here 3 cups coming up out of the water, each with a hand in it. And the hands are from the goddesses, which have held in it wheat, which is from Diana. There's a pomegranate, and there is a golden apple. Now, the phases of the moon are interesting also here. 3 phases of the moon: the waxing moon, the waning moon, and the full moon. Now, they happen to be, I'm just noticing now, it just seems to me that they are the 3 phases which actually show the most light, aren't they? Oh, by the way, I should let you see that gold. There's that golden apple that's being held there. The golden apple has always been a prize that's been sought after throughout history. Now, Mercury in Cancer. Well, Cancer, first of all, that is the most maternal of the signs, and it's well placed here, you see, because with this number 3, I have a mystical association with the womb. womb, so things can gestate, develop, and grow inside of it. So I think that Cancer, as a nurturing sign, is well placed with that number 3. And Cancer people, well, they can communicate with feeling, can't they? Conveying a sensitive, withdrawn and thoughtful, gentle, intuitive kind of people as a general rule. Well, Mercury is all about will and communication. And coming into Cancer, that means that you'll be able to express your feelings fully with people that you are close to, which is only going to enrich your life. So I see here overflowing exchange of love and rare, valuable feelings and perceptions which can be communicated intimately. The love represented here, I think, is of the highest order, and it is available to be shared with only a small circle of people, I think. Now, the 3 cups may stand for 3 important people in your life with whom you can exchange these precious and exquisite feelings with great intimacy. Now, such relationships are rare gifts. Care for them with respect and with gratitude. You see, I think that you have something especially valuable to share. So be open for the people who can share these exquisite feelings with you. They are also a gift. You don't need to look for them. I'm also getting the feeling here that you're going to hear of pregnancy or birth of a baby, or the birth of an idea or a goal. Now, I think you'll be sharing your success with others, and life for you is going to be feeling good. And it's certainly because Mercury is the planet of communication. It's a good time to tell other people that you love them. And it's also a good time to boost the morale of other people. Just as we saw in this card here, even if those people maybe don't always have a kind word directed to them, this is definitely the time to do so, because that will ennoble your soul. Now, enjoy your riches at the moment, but be aware of their limitations and see them for what they are. Are there any people to whom you have not yet outwardly expressed the love that you feel for them? Or give whatever you would like to now, in full awareness of your boundless riches, and say this to yourself: life gives me everything I need to be happy. Now let's go on that, across that top horizontal line, and see what there is. And here we have it. Mars in Aries, the 2 of Wands. This is, let's have a look at some of the imagery that's going on. So Mars in Aries, well, there's a couple of, what's this? Now, first of all, there's a double-headed eagle that's going on here. This is a symbol of kingship, and here's this, and above the eagle here is an orb. That's this round thing with this sort of Maltese cross on the side. That's very often also used for people in positions of high authority and power. Now, the eagle's claws are holding onto a flail and a crook. They were symbols of the Egyptian pharaohs, the kingship that was there. This is a war helmet from ancient Egyptian times. It was worn by the general or the king ceremonially, and it has little solar discs on it and a cobra, which is there. Now, this cobra is quite phallic in nature, deliberately so at the time, because it was about creating new lands. And what's going on here? Well, there's fires. Oh, and look at this thing. See, now, this looks like half a circle. See that half a circle going around there? Well, if you look at that half a circle and imagine it going all the way around, and then looked at this, you would have the symbol of Mars, wouldn't you? Do you see that? If you can imagine a circle, well, here it is here. Here's the Mars, and that's it applied there. So, Mars in Aries. Well, Mars is in its own sign in Aries, which is a good sign for you. And what this says to me is that I think that there's going to be something of a warlike energy around you at the moment. You'll have a degree of pioneering spirit. You'll want to press out, press on, move forward. and make things happen. And just like this prince who's here as well, you'll be interested in domination, in mastering a situation, or maybe dominating another or a situation. You certainly probably won't be very satisfied with your lot, and certainly you will be focusing your intent. Well, Mars is the planet of vitality, energy, and assertion, isn't it? And Aries, well, that's about exploration, pioneering. And the 2, well, that is about balance here. So I think that this is a good thing. You'll be able to move into new directions, which is the Aries aspect, from a place of balance, which is the numerology of 2, with the confidence and, well, aggression of Mars, if I can put it that way. Now, I'm looking at this title, which is Dominion here. That rests on harmony and centeredness, but I think a better word might be command for this energy, in the sense of having command of yourself as well. This condition demands that your energies are collected and concentrated to provide the courage necessary to embark on new paths. Now, whatever drastic changes may occur along the way, the pioneer in you will not be thrown off balance. Now, I think you will be overcome with boldness, courage, fierceness, and, if I may say, something of a shamelessness, perhaps. You'll be generous and proud, but there's also a certain amount. Look, I'm just getting this, and, well, you do with this what you want, but there's also a certain amount of revenge here. This energy is suggesting that the will, spirit, is beginning to rebel against its predisposed boundaries, come hell or high water. And you'll be using your willpower to break through stagnant situations and remove long-standing blocks. This is a time to act, but certain things need to be finished off. And it's time to act on instinct and what you believe to be right without overthinking the situation. You'll have great powers of dynamic leadership ability and energy. They're all building up in you now. So pay attention to centering. If you are in contact with your center, you are certain to master any situation. Now, trust your energy and don't go for any false compromises. Now, which tasks and situations are a challenge for you? Say this to yourself: I find the strength I need now inside myself and inside my center. Now, sitting beneath that card is this thing here, which obviously is also connected to it. Well, completion are some things that need to get completed by the looks of it. Why? That is the more important question. But let's have a look. First of all, we have, well, this is interesting, Venus coming into Aries. Aries again here for you. So a lot of energy, a lot of fire pouring across you. Now, you've got Sagittarius fire there as well. So you've got both your sister signs. Well, actually, it's not sister signs, but it's those fire signs pouring into you here. Now, their energy is here. Well, before I get onto the astrology, what have we got? We've got, well, 4 wands, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are formed of 2 compasses. Remember, do people still use those in high school? I used to have them. There's one compass, there's another. You used to use them in geometry and drawing circles and things. Do people still use those in school? I don't know. And there's also 2 squares, they call these things. They're also used, they're joined together. They're like 2 wooden measuring sticks or rulers put together. And interestingly, the eagle-headed compass, and this is the eagle one down here, it is, well, that compass and that square, well, they have been complemented by its perfect reflection in the form of the square and the compass that's set out here by this bee. The association of the compass and the square with the male and female, or the square and the circle, actually is really quite ancient. Now, the square represents earth, and the compass, I think, represents heaven.
Now Venus, as we see down here in the bottom right of that card, Venus is the ruler of two signs. It's the ruler of Taurus. It's also the ruler of Libra. But I can't help think that with this eagle and with the bee, which are always hanging around in the air, I should prefer Venus to be associated not with the earth sign of Taurus, but with the air sign of Libra. And so for Venus to go from Libra into Aries, it has to travel 180 degrees away on the zodiac wheel. And actually it's in detriment when Venus goes into Aries. And so very often it can't have its ability to express its relationship mojo is blocked. But the number 4, of course, the 4 of Wands, that's about foundation, completeness, progress, power, and stability. And I think there is a completion here for you, a unity, a possibility of new beginnings. The other reason why I don't think that in this case, Venus coming into Aries is such a problem, even though it's in detriment, is that actually, do you know, Venus appears twice, doesn't it, in a day. Venus is both the evening star and Venus is the morning star. Now in the evening, she's very much associated with love, beauty, with relationship, also with money, incidentally, as she always is generally. But in the morning star, Venus is very much like the warrior queen. And so that aspect of her sits well in Aries with Mars, who is the warrior. So I think what she does is she calms Mars down, and Mars doesn't cause a problem for her when she is there. So the attributes of Venus are there for you. And there are, I think, the first stages to completion of I'm also getting beautifying things, maybe considering changing things around your home. You see, Venus, the symbol of beauty and love, combines with Aries, the principle of new beginnings. The heart pushes forth and seeks the development of the beautiful in new directions. But before the new can arise, the old must be complete, and the conflict between opposites must be resolved in a way which will further you on the way towards your highest goals. Now, tension in relationships can work positively when the individuality of each partner is recognized and respected. And this makes it possible for you to support another person in moving forwards. Now, I must say that this probably does require a need for something to be finished off before you satisfy your desire to move on to new things. Now, this could relate to things to do with your work life, or a new relationship, or a new dynamic within an existing relationship. It can also relate to yourself, where one aspect of you wants to go in this direction, while another aspect of you wants to go in that direction there. Nevertheless, something beautiful is making its way into your relationships. Now, you may notice at first as ordinary conditions are called into question and discussed openly. Sorting out the old is a prerequisite, it's a necessity for a new oneness, a new beginning. Now, are you prepared to accept your partner or someone else as he or she is, in spite of your differences? And what areas are in urgent need of clarification or resolution? And if there is some tension between you and somebody else, now is a good time to clarify and resolve the interaction and complete the old. And say this to yourself: completing the old frees me for the new. And then that takes us finally, I think, to what's also on this line here, which is, here we have Mercury. Again, I saw Mercury up there, this time in Sagittarius. And there's a lot of symbology of Mercury here, which you would probably immediately recognize, and I don't need to spend a lot of time on it. But this is the caduceus of Mercury. It's that staff that he holds with a couple of snakes. These are these winged boots that he wears because he flies around. He flies between the gods and humans. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 going here, lights coming out from this crystal to go with this 8 of Wands. Actually, I have a real association with Mercury anyway in the numerology of the number 8, irrespective of the astrology that's placed here. So there is a double Mercury that's here. Swiftness is what it's called. Well, Mercury is the planet of communication, and Sagittarius has the swiftness, to use their term here, of the arrow. And I think that what this does in conjunction with this Mercury, a double Mercury here, which is a very intellectual planet, it's very smart, as you are, but it produces in you, I think, something of a restless intellect. And what we find here is also that with the number 8, there is here power, balance, harmony, making things happen. There's a practicality around you, a skill, and more importantly, a decision. But this is a time when you will have clear, direct, fast communication, which allows you to overcome misunderstandings. You'll be able to overcome obstacles, and events will be moving quite fast. Blockages are going to be removed, and opportunities are coming in quickly. And you'll be able to make things happen. You'll be able to turn your ideas into things. You see, if you state your own standpoint openly, directly, and clearly, then you can get rid of any hurdle that's there, because it's misunderstandings around that stop things going forward. And if you get rid of those misunderstandings, you have clarity and progress. And I think what's happening here is that you have now found your inner center and can present your position with emphasis and openness. See, this rainbow here is, I think, the communication of the divine that's there. And if you overcome your tendency to hesitate and are prepared to call disturbing influences by name, then you will rob them of their power to restrict and hinder you. This rainbow is also a symbol of wholeness. It indicates that a process is coming to an end. You look back, realizing that difficulties of the past have helped you bring the learning process to completion. I think you can also expect to be busy because this card has a lot of energy propelling you towards your goal. You may quickly complete a project that's underway, and that was being asked of this card anyway. Now, determine where your energy is going to be directed, focus it, and then move on with things, because this is a strike while the iron is hot sort of energy. It's a short, sharp, powerful energy that's here. The moment has come for you to define where you stand. Now, if you are open and remain centered, misunderstandings will be cleared. Now, is there anyone to whom you do not dare to openly state where you stand? Use this opportunity to open yourself up more to those people who mean something to you. But this was also coming through here. Talk to them. Say this to yourself. My openness and self-confidence, it opens the hearts of those I love. Well, what a particularly great spread of cards for you. Well done, you.
Well, I personally found that to be fascinating, didn't you? What a lot of great things happening for you this month, and don't you deserve it? Surely you do, that's for sure. And it's going to be probably until now next month before there's your card goes back over there, that mode card. It won't be until next month now that I see you unless you contact me privately. So, but I would ask you this: if you did enjoy the reading, then on the way out, please hit the like button, because it helps the YouTube computer do things with the videos. You understand how that works. Probably a lot better than I do, I should say. But until I see you again, remember one thing, and it is this: that you are a legend. and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.